Hey, 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 friends. We're back. The three of us are back. It's
Yay!
been a while since
Been
the three of us have
forever.
been.
What's
Yeah.
your name again? No.
Well, so that Carol knows who I am, I'm Shelly Brown, and I am so glad that y'all are here with us today. Welcome back to FUNfiltered, Marketing Talk for Authors. This is the place where we have honest, practical conversations about what it really takes to get your book into the hands of the people, of those that it was written for, without hype, without pressure, or pretending that this journey is an easy one. So, and yeah, I'm joined by two of my favorite co-hosts, Carol and Sara. Go ahead, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, so I'm Carol, and I'm excited about today's conversation because we are going to offer you a little twist on how you have been talking already about your book.
And I'm Sara Cormany, and I'm here for strategy, the soul, and probably a little laughter, or as Athena likes to say, a snort laugh along the way.
I'd be only so lucky to get this snort laugh today. Well, y'all, we are continuing our series, What Successful Authors Do That Others Don't. And today's topic, it's kind of a big one. So if you want to sell more books, here it is. You can't focus on your story. Now, before you panic, we're not saying that your story doesn't matter. All right. We're saying something a little more important. So your story really does matter. It matters deeply, right? It's sacred, it's personal, and it's probably the reason that most of you wrote your book. But here's the thing. Readers don't buy books to celebrate. I was going to say seller, to celebrate your journey. They buy books because they're trying to make sense of theirs. Should I say that again?
Yeah,
Because
you
that's
should.
powerful. Yeah, readers don't buy books to celebrate your journey or my journey, our journey. They buy books because they're trying to make sense of theirs.
Yes. Successful authors understand that the reader is always asking one question: how does this help me?
Mm.
That's a great question. I think we all ask that when we go to purchase a book. And so when someone wakes up, they're not thinking, I hope I find somebody else's testimony today to inspire me. No, they wake up thinking things like, hello, this is my life. I need help. I need clarity. I need hope. I need a way forward.
Yeah.
So that's what they're saying.
And this is where many authors get stuck because they unintentionally slow their momentum with a focus or an over focus on their story. Their marketing will probably sound a lot like, let me tell you what I went through. Here's my journey. Here's what happened to me. And while that is powerful, it is also incomplete.
Right. Because the reader is looking for someone to inspire and encourage them, but really they're silently wondering, as they read, can I get to where you are? Is there a path out of wherever I am? Or is this just a story? Or is it actually a roadmap?
Yeah, that's so good because and that's the difference right there. Successful authors, they don't lead with their story. They lead with the transformation, right? And that is key there. So what does that look like in real life? Well, we're going to show you what that shift could look like. All right. So instead of saying, I battled anxiety for years, right? You say something like, if you feel trapped by anxiety, here's the process that helped me move toward steady peace. See the difference there?
Yeah, that's so good. I guess it would be something like, instead of coming across and saying, this is how I rebuilt my marriage, to put that need within it. So if your marriage feels fragile, here are the specific shifts that help me. So you put that pain point there.
Your story is ultimately not what people are buying. It's actually the living proof that the transformation that you're offering is real. Let me say that again because I bungled it. It's the living proof that the transformation that you are offering is real.
Yeah. And they want to see real. And how that really helps you in sales is it's not really by softening your story. It's about shaping it so someone else can see their way forward through it. So when your message is centering on transformation, your book description really does get sharper as you are creating it. Your social posts that you create resonate faster with them. The podcast interviews that you're doing are going to feel much more compelling. And we talk about this all the time, how important it is, the title of your book and the subtitle carry more weight.
Yeah. So, because, if readers have to squint and look really hard to see themselves in your message, they're going to scroll right past it. But when they instantly see it and they think, oh my, that's me, right? That's when they lean in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's make this practical because we love making things practical. I want you to think about your book right now. So those of you who are joining us live or even on the replay, finish this sentence. My book is about my journey through. Now, I want you to rewrite it into my reader is struggling with whatever that is. And this book will help them do what? The second sentence, that's where authors and successful authors rather live, making that shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reread those questions again, because I think that's a really good way to frame it, because you're thinking first about like, what's my book about? But then it's like, why does this matter? So read those again, and maybe Heather will put them back up so they can see it.
Yeah. Yep. So let's finish this sentence together. My book is about my journey through X. So for me, for example, my book is about my journey through suffering and hard things. But now I'm going to rewrite that, and you're going to rewrite yours to my reader is struggling with feeling God's presence in the middle of the storm. And this book will help bring them closer to the heart of God. That's where that shift moves. And that's where you go from being story focused to solution and transformation focused.
Yeah. It is. That is so good, because, and notice that Sara didn't remove her story, right? She just repositioned it. Okay. So we're not removing your story. We're repositioning it.
Right. Because really the proof principle is this, like, your story is what demonstrates the credibility of why you can speak into it and build the trust, because it's telling your reader, like, I've walked this road before. And that really does matter. Readers don't want to advice from someone who's just writing out of theory, who just took a class. They want to hear from someone who's actually experienced it. But even that credibility alone doesn't move someone forward.
Exactly. If all they hear is what you went through, they might admire your strength, but they're still asking, can this help me? That's the question every reader or every potential reader is holding and asking.
It is so true, Sara. Proof isn't just, hey, I survived, right? I mean, it's great that we survived through some painful circumstances or whatever those circumstances are, but proof really becomes powerful when you show what changed your thinking, right? as you survive through whatever you endured. It becomes powerful when you show what decisions you made, um, how it shaped your decisions, what habits you built as a result, uh, what you had to unlearn through the
Mm,
process, right? And in what obedience looked like in real
mhm.
life. That's where your story becomes incredibly useful.
Yeah. And so many of our authors, as you're saying that, Shelly, like as we work through even the coaching and walking through their manuscript before they kind of start the whole editing process, those
Mhm.
are the things that we really want to address. So
Right.
this is, yes, this is in the messaging for your marketing, but it's the messaging you have to think of when you're actually writing your book as well.
Yeah.
So wherever you are in the process, these questions are super important as you know, walk your own publishing journey. And the usefulness that you bring them is super powerful because now your book isn't just saying, here's what I survived. It's saying, here's how you can move forward. And that's the transformation that they
Mm,
want to and will experience.
And transformation, that is what people are really looking for. They're not buying a story, they're looking for relief, for
mm,
clarity, for hope that something in their life can shift.
mm.
And your story is going to be the thing that opens the door to that for them. It shows that it is not something that's just theoretical. It's real.
Right. And but transformation, the process, the shifts and the hope, that's what invites them inside that open door, right? So
Right.
that's what makes the reader say, this book isn't just powerful. This
Mhm.
book is for me, right?
Mm.
That's the shift that we want to take place.
And as Christian authors, we care deeply, deeply about testimony. We
Mm,
know that Revelation says we are overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony or our story. And that matters. But testimony in scripture always points beyond the person telling it. And aren't we so grateful? If I was supposed to be the bastion of parenthood or marriage or living a life 100% committed to Jesus with not even a smidge of humanity in it, people
mm,
would be disappointed because I am not perfect. We are pointing to a perfect God. Our
yes.
testimony, our story, it reveals who God is. It
Mm,
reveals what he does, and it reveals what is
Mm.
possible.
yeah.
And that is incredible.
Yeah. I love that so much.
Mm.
So when you share your story, the goal isn't just to say, hey, look what God did for me, right? It's to help your reader see this is what God might want to do in you too, right? So your story really does become an invitation. It's an invitation to trust Him, to walk differently, and to believe again. And that's when your testimony and your story moves from merely inspiration, right, to that transformation. And that
Mm.
is powerful.
It is powerful and so important as we put together the messaging for our book because it's
Yeah,
not just about marketing, it's about bringing people to the feet of Jesus.
for sure.
Um, so let's go ahead and just pause for a minute. I don't know if there's any questions or if you want to place a question in the chat if you haven't yet, or maybe even place your sentence that we
Mhm.
talked about. So Susan says, through cancer, my reader is struggling with God and their anxiety, fear, and loss with cancer. So she's recognizing exactly where her reader is going to be.
Mm,
Crystal says, shame, my book will help others see themselves as God does. And
mm,
Gail says, my readers are struggling with fear of rejection, and I will help you let go and be free. And those are
mm.
so, so important. So the question I want to ask you as we kind of wrap this up today is, you know, are you leading with your story or are you leading with your reader's breakthrough? And one thing you can do to check that is to scroll back through your social media posts that have to do with your book. Scroll through the email newsletters that you've sent out, or even a message that you've written to, speak in front of a women's group or wherever you are, using your message from a platform, and ask yourself that question. Are you leading with your story or your readers' breakthrough as you communicate the truth of what transformation will look like?
And honestly, if we get so caught up in the doing, and I know I am at fault in many areas of my life here, we miss out on the destination. So remember that as it's not a place of shame or embarrassment. It's a place of, where is my focus? Am I focusing on the doing, or am I focusing on the destination? So if you are catching the replay, we would like you to tell us one sentence you're going to rewrite this week, because we care about you even if you don't join us live.
Yeah. And a lot of you can't join us live because we're right smack in the middle of your Friday afternoon. So if you catch the replay, we want you to be able to share, and we'll be reading all of the comments because we love seeing those light bulb moments for sure, and encourage you along the way.
Yeah, if all we do really is talk about what we've been through, it can start to feel like we're spotlighting ourselves. That can become a little bit weighty for your audience. But when we talk about what the reader is walking through and how the book helps, it becomes less about us and more about them, and even more about him, as we really walk this together. And that's what serving is.
And it doesn't diminish your story. It actually multiplies its impact.
Yeah, that's for sure. And the authors who consistently sell and consistently reach people, they understand this. They understand that their story is the bridge. All right, get that visual. The story is the bridge, but transformation is the destination. Right? So here's your action steps for this week. And I think Carol might have alluded already to one of them. But here's what we want you to do. Number 1, rewrite your one sentence book description so it clearly speaks to your reader's struggle and the change that your book offers, the transformation that your book offers. That's number 1. Number 2, review your website headline, or your website, but also anywhere you have your headline. If it's on your social media, wherever you have it, is it highlighting your journey, or is it highlighting the outcome that your reader is hoping for? Okay, so just do an audit. Just go and review those areas. And then I think, as Carol had mentioned, look at your last 3 posts, and do more of what Carol, because Carol went a little more into it, but look at those posts. Are they mostly about what you experienced, or are they more about helping someone to take their next step, to experience that transformation and that desire, the help that they are seeking? So, y'all, these are simple. They're not massive overhauls. They're just small adjustments that it can just change how people respond to you and your book.
Yeah. And I really do love the audit portion of this, Shelly, that, you've walked them through, because it does help us recognize what we post and how, and what we, what information we put out there and how it is helping. So not only just look at what you post and what it says, but how do people respond to it? And then if you're not sure, you haven't really done a lot of posting yet, or placing, the story out there, go to someone that you love and respect. Go to someone that maybe has, is further along the journey than you, and go in and see what they're posting and what people are responding to. And it's interesting how, when you see, this post got 3 likes, but this post got 30, what was the difference? And really navigating that. And, people want they want to feel seen. And when you show that you see them where they are, they're going to engage and be a part of your posting and, comment and all the things. So, if this episode made you rethink about how you talk about your book, that's really good, because that is growth.
And if you want help refining your messaging so that your story actually drives connection and sales, that's exactly why we created Book Marketing Pro Academy. Inside BMA, we help you clarify your reader, sharpen your message, and build sustainable marketing rhythms so your book reaches the people it was written for. We'll drop the link below in the chat, so look there, bookmarketingproacademy.com. And if today's episode helped you, would you take just a smidge of time to like, comment, and subscribe? That helps us serve more authors just like you. And we'll see you next week on Friday for another fun-filtered marketing talk for authors.
Yes. Have a beautiful weekend, everybody. Do your homework. All right.